Hello, I'm Anthony David Hobbs, and as you've probably gathered, this is a review of one of the Conan films, Conan the Destroyer. But before that, I'd just like to say something about Conan in general. Conan is set around about the year 8000 BC, so in the days before history was written. So, in other words, if you see this style of sword, or this style of clothes, or this style of necklace, nobody can say that's wrong. That's not what they had in that time period. That's historically inaccurate. Nobody can say that because we don't know. We don't know what kind of clothes or what style of weapons they had in those days because history wasn't written down. So, in other words, if you write a story set in the Hyborian Age, you can, well, let your imagination run wild. You know, any language, any style of building, any style of weapons, it's entirely up to you. So you can get very creative writing. A bit like when you write stories set in the future, nobody can say that's wrong because we don't know what the future is going to be like. In the same way, nobody knows for certain what kind of clothes or weapons they had in the Hyborian Age, and the names of the countries change over the years. However, big however, there was a race of people called the Cimmerians. So yes, presumably from a country called Cimmeria. And Conan is a real name, it's not made up for the films, So, but apart from that, pretty much everything is just guesswork, Anyway, when I first saw Conan the Barbarian, I was shocked. I'd never seen anything like it. I'd never seen a violent film, Even though it was edited for television, it was very graphic. Like, well, the scene when one man tries to bite another man's head off, it's absolutely diabolical. It's horrific. It's horrible, So, and I thought, I don't want to watch any more of this, because it was the first time I'd seen a film with violence on that kind of scale. But after you get over the initial shock, you can enjoy it and realise, well, that is what people were like thousands of years ago. Violence in the extreme, However, when I saw Conan the Destroyer, so 3 years later, so I'd seen a lot of violent films since then, a lot of change in 3 years. When I saw Conan the Destroyer, I was shocked. Not because it was too violent, no, because it wasn't violent enough. I was really disappointed. Where's all the blood and guts and gore, blood spewing everywhere, really violent psychopaths attacking at you here, there and everywhere, Where's the level of violence that we had in Conan the Barbarian? What's going on? Conan the Destroyer is a sequel. Now, when you do a sequel, we expect it to be done in the style of the original, And no sex? No, we don't have any sex at all in this one, no. Not even a cuddle or a kiss. Oh, there's one kiss with the princess and Conan, but apart from that, no. And I was waiting, in the first one we had 4 sexy bits in Conan the Barbarian. So come on, lots and lots of sex and violence. What's going on? What is this, There's a bit where Malik, the very annoying comic relief, he's giving a talk to the princess about the birds and the bees. How do you think flowers grow? And that's the closest we get to sex in the whole film, basically. It's terrible, If you want lots of sex and violence, you're going to be disappointed, And, but, in spite of all that, over the years, I have warmed to Conan the Destroyer. Yes, it's disappointing that the violence is down to a PG level. But when you get over that, you think, no, okay, this is a different kind of Conan, a different style, And I was disappointed, spoiler alert, at the end of the film, Conan doesn't marry the princess. So he doesn't rule the kingdom of Shadazar, no. But, I think the second or third time I saw the film, I thought, well, actually, no. It would be a bit of a cliche if he married the princess, wouldn't it? He doesn't marry the princess because they have nothing in common. Oh, he cares about her, they're friends, yes, but no, they're not in love, no. Conan is fussy about who he wants to marry, Okay, why is it a PG? Well, I saw a documentary that explained why. The first one was like Certificate 15, violence, gore and blood everywhere. But to make more money, they toned the violence down, made it like a PG, so it was okay for kids to go and see this film. In the belief that would make more money. Well, it didn't. It did make a good profit, yes, but it did not make as much as the first one, and fans were disappointed. Arnold Schwarzenegger himself had doubts as to whether or not is this a good idea, making an adult film into a kid's film? Well, we didn't have a lot of choice because he'd signed a contract to do at least 3 Robert E. Howard films, based on Robert E. Howard characters. And But it's not all bad, yes. Conan is still a barbarian. He's nomadic. He doesn't serve any leader, yeah. Lives his life the way he sees fit, yeah. And, okay, good things and bad things. Well, I didn't like Malik. The character of Malik is really annoying. If you think Jar Jar Binks is annoying, you should see Malik. Yes, he's really annoying. The jokes fall flat. Rather than be comic relief, he's not funny, he's just annoying. There's a very thin line between funny and annoying, yeah. Howard the Duck isn't funny, he's annoying. Judge Dredd's sidekick, played by Rob Schneider, he's not funny, he's just annoying. Now, every great action film has to have comic relief, a little sort of ease the tension, a little break from the violence. And that's fine if the comic relief is relevant to the story and if it's funny, but it's not funny. The character of Malik, we don't need him at all. Why is he even in this movie at all? Okay, and any other bad things about it? Well, I suppose I have to get this off my chest. Grace Jones. I don't rate her as an actress. She's a very annoying character, Zula. Plus, Zula isn't even supposed to be a woman. That character was a man in the original comics. But no, they've made her a woman. Because Grace Jones was a pop star, that's how she gets in the film. But no, she's just very annoying, too over the top, yeah. Oh, yes, but in the film, Zula, played by Grace Jones, she has a fear of a mouse, and she's scared of it. She's not scared of bleak, crazy psychopaths that want to attack her, but she's afraid of a mouse. Okay, that makes logical sense. Oh, yes, and Grace Jones, because of her outfit, she has her bottom exposed throughout the entire film. Now, I'm all for women exposing their bottoms. I'm all for that. If it's a 15 or if it's a movie aimed at adults, But this was supposed to be a PG for a family audience. How is that appropriate then if she has her bottom out throughout the whole film? Yeah. And, okay, it wasn't all bad, Conan the Destroyer. Yes, we find out that he can't be bribed, because he's a thief. He steals jewels and weapons. And Queen Tamara says, I'll give you anything you want. And he says, go away, you're not my queen. I have a mission for you. Well, what will you give me in return? There's nothing you have that I want. She offers him Valeria, the warrior woman, so Conan's girlfriend, who's dead. And she says, I have the power to bring the dead back to life. Now, in the previous film, there was a witch that landed in the fireplace and turned into a ball of fire. So, yes, you can bring the dead back to life in the world of Conan, yeah. So he believes her, yeah, and he agrees to do the mission. He's got to help to escort the Princess Jenna. She has to get a magical jewel that's really a key that will help her get a jeweled horn, yeah. Conan has no interest in Dagoth, the dreaming god. He just wants to get Valeria back, yeah. So yes, obstacles on the way, people trying to kill them, but then it is a Conan film, yeah. And, we get Akiru back. I think that's good. Conan and Akiru the Wizard, the only returning characters from the first film. So I suppose that's good. At least it feels like it's part of the same franchise, yeah. And then Conan has to fight the wizard Toph Ammon, who turns into like this ogre with blue skin and beats him up a lot. It's sort of one-on-one, like a wrestling match. And it draws attention to Conan's muscles more. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Arnold Schwarzenegger physically most resembled the Conan character, yeah. And then, afterwards, Conan, he can't physically beat this monster, so he has to use his wits. He smashes a mirror. And every time he smashes a mirror in this, like, glass tower in the castle, the creature gets weaker and weaker. Didn't they do something like that in Enter the Dragon? Yeah, smashing mirrors. Well, anyway, he does that. And then they have to get out the building because the whole castle's going to implode or sink to the sea, yeah. Anyway, but then afterwards, Conan, one of the Queen's guards that's been following them, attacks Conan. Oh, and he's played by the actor that plays Forgan from the first film. Totally different character, but the same actor. Sometimes to be good in a sword fight, you need strength and skill. In this case, yes, you need both, because they're both brilliant swordsmen fighting still on their horses, sword fighting each other, slashing here, hammer and tongs. And then there's a bit when one pushes the other one off his horse with sheer brute strength with his sword against his sword. So yes, brute strength and skill. You need both. Conan does that thing where he swishes his sword around a lot. That's how nifty I am. You can't possibly beat me. But undeterred, the Queen's Guard fight, and they fight and Conan wins. They're both fighting over the Princess Jenna. And neither of them fancy her. No, they're fighting over her because she has that magic power. Yeah. Anyway, Conan is naturally suspicious. Why is a Queen's Guard attacking us? He asks Bombata, and Bombata says, not by her order, she didn't do it by her. And Conan gives him a fierce look. Yeah, I'm suspicious of you. I'm watching you. I'm going to keep my eyes on you at all times. In the very next scene, Conan is getting drunk. Oh. Okay, good to see he's on the ball. He's got his eyes open, yeah. And Jenna starts getting a bit of a crush on Conan, but he likes her, yeah, but no, he prefers tough women that are good in a fight. That's his kind of woman, yeah. And then the character of Malik, I suppose, why is he Conan's sidekick? Well, because he uses brains instead of brawn, except he's not that clever, is he? He's a fool, yeah. Akira proves useful, though. There's a bit when he has to fight another wizard using magic powers, he waves his hands and stuff, and they have to make the mouth of a stone dragon open and close and everything, yeah. And it's not all bad. Conan the Destroyer does have some moments, and then afterwards, later, Bombata and the princess are separated from the group. Conan works it out. We helped Jenna get the magical jewel, then that which enabled her to get the magical jewelled horn, and we are of no further use to them, so they'd left us to be killed by that big army of the skulls of Skelos, yeah. And we have no further use to them, so they just left us to die. In other words, the promise of saving Valeria, that was a lie, yeah. Nevertheless, he decides to go and save Jenna, stop her being sacrificed. And Malik says, well, why? Why should we do that? We don't do charity, we're thieves. What's in it for us? Well, that's just the thing about Conan. He's not entirely good and not entirely evil. He's a thief, yes, whenever he's short of any money or any weapons, but he does the decent thing. He looks at the big picture. If I don't stop Dagoff, it's going to destroy the whole world. We won't have a world to live in, yeah. So, yes, he's good when it counts, when it's something that genuinely matters. At the end of the world, yes, that matters, all right, yeah. So he decides to be the hero and do the decent thing. He has no idea if he gets any reward in return, but he decides to save the princess anyway. And Dagoff, the statue of a handsome young man, but when they put the horn in the statue, it turns into this hideous, grotesque alien monster. Yeah, doesn't look like what they imagined he would look like at all. So yeah, I thought that was a clever twist, yeah. And yes, Conan has to use physical strength to beat this monster Dagoff, yeah. And it's all about the horn. The horn keeps him alive. A bit like the horn of a unicorn then, yeah. Anyway, so yes, it has great sets built, great costumes, some good fight choreography. But because it's been made like a PG family film, there are a lot of moments that are gawky and awkward. Some very cheesy acting from Wilt Chamberlain and Grace Jones makes Arnie's acting look like Shakespeare, basically. Yeah. I thought the franchise took a wrong turn going in the direction of PG. It should have been, like a 15 certificate like the first one. But it's not all bad. There are lots of travelling from place to place, yeah. Lots of great action sequences, but too many cheesy bits. Yeah, there was no cheesy acting at all in the first one. So I just think, yeah, that they should have cut down on the cheese, yeah. And they hint at a third one. Will a third one ever happen? Well, I really don't know. And will Arnie play him or not? We still don't know. Time will tell. I'm Anthony Hobbs. Thank you for watching, and I'm never bored.